Good to know. Tonight, the race to world first is over, and so is playtime for some of those guys. We'll have the scoop on exactly what's going on with that. Plus, some big news with Symmetra. And, of course, deals galore this time around, this time of the year for all Blizzard games as CTR presents the Battlenet News. In Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is November 22nd. That's what it is. 2016, and it is now 10:20 in the p.m. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Pat Crane. I'm the host of this little shindig. And this week, this short week that we have, we still have all the players here that we need for the show, including this guy from Line of Sight Gaming. You know him from all of his wonderful 2-minute tips on all the different bosses up to now, plus probably more in the future. It's Tattva!
Hey guys, what's up? I'm trying not to cough everywhere this whole podcast, but be warned. I'm still trying to kick this con crud.
It's so funny because we talked about this last week, and it was like, we had the people that were well on the show, and now we have the people that are coming back, and they're still maybe a little bit under the weather, but they're coming back, and so it'll all be good. So let's just let's move on, and we'll come back to you, Tattva. Nice to see you. Nice to see that you're doing well. Let's go to the man from Lords of the Storm, the podcast about Heroes of the Storm. It's Gizmo!
What's up, guys? I'm excited to be back. I feel like I'm finally getting caught up on everything post BlizzCon.
Good.
I avoided the con crud, but you know what I came back to? The work office crud. Everyone in my office was sick, so I got that,
which is great.
And now there's a little real
which is great.
Bad 12-hour bug going around that I'm avoiding so far, so we're good to go.
Good.
Ready to do this.
And also, sick in the head, we have from the Payload podcast and
you took my joke, Pat.
I know. It's John Horstmann. Hey, buddy.
Dang it. I have nothing to say now. Hi, Pat. Thanks for having me.
He's only sick in the head. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Oh, boy.
How you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing great. I feel great.
Good.
I can look better. That's why I do podcasting, and then the whole sick in the head thing. But besides that, we're doing great.
Good.
Absolutely great.
Good. We should entitle this show
Which Doctor? This Doctor.
That's what we should entitle the show.
Ooh, already
with the sickies here tonight. But welcome everybody to the show, and welcome fellas. We do have a lot to talk about on this Thanksgiving weekend, on this Pilgrim Bounty weekend. And if you guys haven't done the Pilgrim Bounty stuff, it's out there now. You can sit at a table and you can eat food and other things.
Stuffed ham. Here it's good.
And kill turkeys. You can kill turkeys. Mm-hmm. That's always fun. Running around, just shooting turkeys all the time. Yep, that's nice.
I love the picture of the gnome on the launcher. The face is hilarious.
What does it look like? I didn't even see it. Did I see it?
Oh, it's gone now. They replaced it with Black Friday deals.
They do have a lot of Black Friday deals, and that's what I was alluding to. They do have lots of Black Friday deals, including, I believe, 75% off of Warcraft. And 40% off of Overwatch, and there's money off to be had this weekend. So, plus the gear store, there's lots of stuff going on. So, make sure to get that stuff this weekend. Also, hey, I'll just mention this here, as long as we're talking about this weekend and kind of Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that kind of crazy crap. If you guys are gearing up for the holidays in any way for yourself or for a loved one, go to jinx.com. They just redid their site. I talked about this last week. But now through November 30th, if you enter the code CTR, shipping is free. And for that, I think I should probably do. I think I should probably do that for free shipping. I mean, that seems fair, right?
International as well.
International as well, yes. And
Holy smokes.
so I actually got tweeted at earlier this week, and I was like, thanks for the free international shipping for using the code CTR. So, and thanks to Jinx for making it happen, which is cool.
Nice.
So yeah, you guys can get a little free shipping. We all know that's where the money is made or something. I'm not, I don't really know. All right, let's go around the room and see what you guys have been up to. Tattva, what have you been up to since BlizzCon, buddy? What's been going on?
Being extremely sick and trying to make Trial of Valor videos, basically, in the midst of sickness. It's always awesome trying to record audio when you sound like poop.
Yeah.
But what can you do? It's going good. Heli is a bit of an issue still. Just having issues getting a good screenshot of the encounter area and some other things. So, and then plus the sickness on top of it. So that will probably be coming out in the next couple days. But so we're slow on that. But our Odin video got featured on the launcher, which was super awesome.
Yes, and
cool.
for that, big applause as well on that one.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love it when you guys are on the launcher. It's really pretty great to see you guys up there. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was like our first actual proper boss guide that got featured. Like everything else has been like things they've asked us to make, and so this was the first one that they just kind of featured one of our videos, which is cool.
They just said, "Hey, you guys are great. We like what you're doing. We know you guys. We know you're not going to steer our people wrong. So let's just throw you up there." That's cool. I like that stuff. So you rest up. You get better while I talk to the other boys here, and we'll see what's going on. Gizmo, Gizmo, what's been going on in your world, man?
Oh, just getting caught up here. Been trying to get my hands in everything Blizzard since I've been back, just because BlizzCon, you get all the stuff, you get all the goodies. So I've actually jumped back into StarCraft to try and play through that campaign mode, which I'm awful at. Heroes, of course, with Varian coming out, is probably my new favorite hero to play right now.
Awesome.
And I've been really diving into some Overwatch. I kind of neglected that for a little bit. And man, I'm having a blast with all the new modes and stuff. So
you said you were playing 1v1, right?
Yes.
And how was that for you for Overwatch?
It is the most intense and stressful thing I've ever done in gaming, I think. And it's awesome. So it's best of 9, I believe. And for each round, it's just you die, round's over, and then you get it's random heroes of the same hero mirror match. And it's so fun. I played that for probably 2 hours tonight after work. And the community, like, there hasn't been any toxicity or anything like that. Everyone's just having a good time, complimenting each other, and it's awesome. And I have challenged John to a 1v1.
Ooh.
I already won. Already beat you. Already got my win
publicly.
You've already beat him in your head, right, John? Is that the deal?
My sick head.
Yep. Yeah. All right, cool. And John, what's been going on with you as far as stuff goes?
Doing whatever I can to avoid having to play Gizmo in 1v1 in Overwatch. Is what.
Because as soon as you play, then you know how it's going to end up. It's it's the Schrodinger's cat of video games. I don't know.
Sorry, Gizmo. I gotta shine the silverware.
Yeah,
I think is something that I did. I made Overwatch cookies this past week. We did a little co-stream, made some Overwatch cookies.
Nice.
And they turned out great. The parts that were ruined were the parts that I helped with. So basically, a lot of it is like Katie baking, and she's such a talented cook and baker. And she's baking and cooking and explaining these things. And I'm like standing off to the side, like dancing, not knowing what to do. And like, I think I tried to keep it track, and I probably had a full cup and a half of like homemade powdered sugar icing.
Yeah.
I was so sick. It was the dumbest thing. It was the best icing I had ever had. And so I just ate a lot of it like a greedy 6-year-old. And then I don't feel very good. And so there was that. But in Blizzard games, I've been playing a lot of Overwatch. I've been playing a lot of competitive. I have a couple of friends who we've been dual queuing some competitive Overwatch, just with goals to just be better. So we've been doing that. I've been taking a break from Hearthstone. It's just stale. We had the Heroic Tavern Brawl this last week, which I know we're talking about later. But besides that, I'm just I'm done. I'm done for this expansion until Mean Streets of Gadgetzan comes out.
When is that? When is that going to come out? When is that?
Early December.
All right.
Is all we know. So early December.
All right.
Isn't that like a week and a half away?
That is a week and a half away. Yeah.
Right. So
it's not a long break by any means.
It's not even soon TM. That's just soon. That's just straight
soon.
up
That's
soon.
The only way the Hearthstone team knows how to do soon. Is as soon as something comes out of their mouth, it's 2 to 3 weeks before you have it in your hands.
Well, that's cool.
It's pretty neat.
That's all right. I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before the news? Oh, yeah. Okay. Here's another deal. I know that it's not up yet. It's only Tuesday. But this weekend, go to the Convert to Raid t-shirt store. We have that store. Actually, it's not just t-shirts, but go over to converttoraid.com, click on the store thing, and there's going to be some cool stuff coming down. So just watch for it. Starting Thursday, watch for it over at the store. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh.
That's all I'm saying. Just watch for it.
Okay.
Yeah. And
will do.
I'm kind of bummed that it's a short week this week because my raid team goes on Wednesdays, and like half the team is like, I'm not gonna make it. So I'm like, all right,
better than the Thursday.
Yeah, ours is on Thursday.
I guess might have to pug with you guys or something like that. We'll figure it out. You don't want me on your team, by the way. Let's move into the news. All right, let's start with some WoW. As we always do, the world boss this week, I don't know if you guys have tried it. It's the Soultakers. Have you guys tried it? Anybody tried it here today yet?
The ex-girlfriends? Oh, the Soultakers.
The Soultakers. Gizmo, you tried it today?
No, not yet today. I meant to, but then I kept playing 1v1. It just kept playing 1v1.
Right. Tattva, did you do anything with that? I know that you're big into it.
No, I've been holding off just because, I know it only rewards gold this week, I think.
Unless you're a DK. My gosh.
Yeah.
If you're a DK, you've got your, oh, by the way, maybe I should whisper it. Psst. If you're a Death Knight, your Hidden Frost artifact appearance drops from this boss.
Is it a guaranteed drop?
Psst. I don't know. I don't play a Death Knight. But that's where it drops from.
That's really why he's whispering, and so that people can't hear him if it's wrong.
Right.
I would hope they did, because otherwise it's like, oh, you didn't get it this week. Maybe in 10 weeks
months.
when this boss comes back around.
Just like
I'm
Legendary.
Pretty sure they encountered that with shamans, right? Because there's that world boss that we fought a couple weeks in a row, right? That you guys could get it from, Pat.
If there was, I didn't know about it, and I never got one, so it's all good.
Because I swear they fixed it, so it wasn't.
I would hope that it would be
hopes.
a little bit random. Like there's a chance that it would drop for you.
There's one person, one Death Knight on each server doesn't get it.
Yeah, just one. Just one. Just a lonely guy.
Just the one walking around Stormwind that everyone just looks and stares at.
And it's like, why doesn't he have it? Why doesn't he have it yet? And he's like roaming around Stormwind like Eeyore and just going, okay, guys,
shunned,
if you need me.
Shunned from the community, no longer allowed in the Death Knight class hall.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Just shut it down. That'd be so brutal.
That's it.
But I like it. I like what you're thinking about here.
I know you like it.
I need to find this info. Like, I need to find out if it's a guaranteed drop or not. This is important.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But if you find that it's a guaranteed drop, let me know. I don't think it is.
I will.
I would hope that it is not. It should be. Well, we'll talk about legendaries here in a little bit. Also, this week is World Quest bonus event week. So if you go to the guy over by the place with the thing, and he has the little thing above his head that says, you know, that one. That guy has quest for World Quests. So he just loves World Quests. So that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Don't forget to pick it up early. Like most people will do that many within a week. So don't pick it up on Monday and be like, oh crap.
Right.
I have to do 20 right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the small news of the week. That's like the small things. I want to get to the big news though, because the big news of the week is that the Trial of Valor mythic bosses are all down. So, and Method is number 1. Again, Method tops the charts, number 1 for that 3-boss deal in Trial of Valor, the mini raid, the raidlet, I think. But Tattva, there was some stuff going on, wasn't there?
There's some hullabaloo.
What was the hullabaloo surrounding the TOV?
So the first 2 kills went down normal, like they didn't exploit it or anything like that. But apparently, some guilds had learned that if you allowed your tank to die during a breath, that the boss would no longer breathe on you, which is one of the main aspects of the fight.
Right.
And so, yes. Like, I guess, I mean, the main people who are being upfront about it are Limit.
Yes.
Because I guess they tweeted out the devs and stuff and told them that there was this encounter-breaking bug and you guys should probably fix it and stuff. And then they proceeded to do like 300 plus pulls on the boss without killing him. They were getting close, but they hadn't killed him yet. And then the third guild comes in. No, not Exorcist. Who is it? Yeah, Exorcist, right?
I think it was Exorcist and what was the other one? I'm trying to remember now.
From Scratch.
Yes.
So Exorcist and From Scratch got the kill on Helya. So they were number 3 and number 4 with the exploit. And so at that point, according to Limit and the little post that they made, they're just like, well, if other people are killing it like this, I guess we should. And then I guess on the 5th attempt, or the 5th time they got to phase 3 after that, they're able to kill the boss. So it's kind of a big deal as far as the exploit goes. But they should have stuck to their guns and not done it, because now they're all suffering from an 8-day ban.
Right. They're taking a little break from WoW. It's fine. You know, they're taking a week and a day away from WoW, which...
And it's not just the ban, I don't think, right? Didn't they get their ranked kills pulled as well?
Oh yeah, they got
everything. The achievements, all of it's gone.
Yep. So it no longer counts. They're off of the achievement things as well. So they're just like, okay, we're gonna roll you guys back. We're gonna roll you guys back a week and a day, and we'll see you next time. And that's not the first ban that's gone out in the last couple of weeks, because there was another ban. There was an artifact power bug happening where people found that there was a quest that they could repeat over and over again to get more and more AP, and there was a ban that went out. What was that? I think it was right after the show last week, on Wednesday, and it went out, and just like a bunch of people were just gone. It's like, okay, but it was only like a 24-hour suspension, so it wasn't really that much. But I don't know. It's just kind of like
they rolled back the AP as well. A lot of people were worried that they weren't going to get punished in that way. But it's a good thing that they followed through with that and not only did they get the day ban, but also stripped of the artifact power.
Right.
So correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but because I was following it on Twitter and Reddit, which are the most scholarly sources I could find.
Yes, that is
true. And the way that it sounded is that it initially looked like they weren't, or they were unclear that they were going to roll back that AP, and then there was a blue post like going, we've seen the feedback and we're going to roll back the AP as well. Is that what happened, or was it just people freaked out before Blizzard ever clarified?
Maybe a bit
Cool.
of both.
Great
seems like
question,
they're
yes.
it seems like they're actually really paying attention to feedback this expansion and responding extremely quickly. I mean, it might have always been a plan, not to only punish them with the ban, but also to roll it back. But once they saw that storm brew, and they're just like, no, okay, we're good. It's going away. Don't worry. Just hasn't happened yet.
Sure.
It's all good.
Sure.
But yeah.
So my question is, has this Hell Yeah exploit been fixed yet?
Has it? Do we know?
Because
Man, we're asking the tough
I can
questions.
see an
I think we
issue
are.
here. Well, what's like, what do they do if teams get to them and now they actually have a tank die on that first breath? And what do you know? They end up downing the boss. And it's like,
Usually-
what happens?
Usually
I mean,
when
this is something.
usually when this stuff happens, they fix it pretty quickly. So
Okay.
they really try to make sure that they're doing what's right. Of course, now they have, a week to really fix it, because now they bought themselves a week.
Yeah.
Because they said,
Well, I mean,
all right,
there's
we're gonna
other
boot you for a
guilds.
week, so we're gonna scare all the other top guilds that are trying on this boss and trying to do the exploit. So yeah, then we could fix it over the long holiday.
I mean, that was part of the issue, though, and part of the debate that's going on in Twitter and everywhere else where people are discussing the bans is that limit. When they posted the encounter breaking bug, they said that it was 3 days before guilds started getting kills in that way, so
Right.
they should have been aware of it. And so it's just, it's interesting seeing people's different perspectives. And, I mean, most people are going along the side of, it's broken. Don't
Well,
do it.
and
If it's an exploit, obvious an exploit, you're going to get crushed for it. So
Right.
leave it alone, but
And if you're talking to, a casual raider and you're saying, "Oh, it's broken," they'll be like, "What? I don't understand what you're talking about." But these are mythic raiders. These guys know what the scoop is. These guys are essentially pros, and they got to know what's up. If there's an exploit, they know it's an exploit, and they're like, "Yeah, okay, this doesn't make much sense if this isn't happening." They're smart enough, and in the respect of, knowing exactly what the game should be giving them. So they know.
Yeah.
Well,
They know.
something for me too that I've always wished that we were able to, that more guilds streamed their raiding sessions, because most guilds, in fact I would say up until this last expansion, basically all guilds really didn't do that. And a lot of time it's because of, and Darius has talked about this on this show before, sometimes mythic raiding is just finding out ways to break the boss and break the fight. And if they crack down tough on this and just be like, hey, if it's not supposed to work that way, if you're not beating the fight the way that it was intended, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that also means that, we'll see more of that rating content live. I would love to see the different top rating guilds stream, some of their sessions,
Sure.
not necessarily. I don't want to be in those mumbles because they are crazy, but I would love to see, this is a strategy that a top tier team is using. And I think that
Right.
there's still going to be some teams are just like, oh, we have this really cool strategy and we don't want other people to know that. But I think that you have to stay, I think Blizzard needs to stay tough on this stuff.
Mhm.
And, it's 8 days. Yes, it stinks to be banned 8 days over Thanksgiving week. I mean,
No, not really. Actually, if you're gonna be
Yeah.
banned for 8 days in WoW, that'd be the time to do it. So it's all right.
it's sarcasm.
Right,
Pat,
unless
it's sarcasm.
unless you're in Europe, and these guys aren't they from
Most
scratch?
of them are.
Except for Limit.
Weren't we
Well,
talking about that?
limit is not. Those guys are
Right.
from around here, but everybody else I think is. So yeah,
Weren't we talking about last week on the show? There were like 6
yeah,
NA NA teams or
Yep.
whatever, America's teams. And then once it opened up for EU, there was like 30.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It went from 6 to 40 like really quick. So yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, Trial of Valor isn't messing around. It's pretty interesting.
So have you done mythic bosses in there yet, Tat?
No, we've switched our focus back to Emerald Nightmare. Actually, we're working on Il'gynoth. Il'gynoth should fall pretty soon. Then we'll be 5 out of 7.
Awesome.
And then hopefully, it's been a little while since, like me personally, I've actually been on a mythic rating team that's kind of the whole ahead of the curve type situation. If we get like Xavius before Nighthold comes out, that'd be awesome. But the thing is I mean, we raid 2 nights a week, and then on top of that, we're entering holiday season, so we're like 8 lockouts away from Nighthold already.
Right.
It's like,
that's kind of unnerving, right? Where you're like, oh man, we're up against a wall already. That's
it's pretty crazy.
Although, but
I mean,
they never really said when Nighthold is going to be coming out. They said that it will probably be like the area will be unlocked after the first of the year. That's kind of where that 9 weeks comes in that we talked about a while back.
The last the last Q&A Ian did, he mentioned the end of January as their target for Nighthold. So
which makes sense.
Whether they hit it or not, that's another thing. But no, it's gonna be exciting. But even on Heroic though, like we've gone in there, Trial of Valor, and we haven't even messed with Helya on Heroic. It's just, I mean, even the other 2 bosses, I mean, guilds that have gone in and seen these fights, like they're legit. I mean, we were 4 out of 7. I mean, we're not extremely progressed. We're on a fairly casual rating, whatever the word is.
Schedule, yes.
Schedule, that's the word.
That's the one.
But yeah, and so it's super limited, but I mean, but we're pretty decked out. I think our average item level is like 870 something now, 77 or something, isn't it, Giz?
That's cool.
It's getting up there.
That's awesome.
But I mean, even that, and with like some of the DPS, like we have some parsers that, very high, like top 40 in the world as far as like DPS goes and stuff. So, I mean, we're not a bunch of chumps and go in there and Odin and Gorm are like, hey.
Who's top 40?
Peace.
Let's see. A comp, maybe? No, I don't know.
Oh, he's not with us anymore.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's doing Overwatch and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
No, there's a lot of good parsers in the group, and they're always fighting over, setting the standard and stuff, which is pretty funny. But
that's cool.
Yeah, well, Tovo, Crab, Reppins, Dumpster Dan.
I know.
Who else is there, Giz?
I know a few of those. I know a few of those guys, and I know how they are, and it's always just kind of funny to think about how you guys give each other grief during raid night. Just all of the grief. It's cool.
Yeah, it's a bonding experience.
That's what we're calling it. That's what we're calling it. Yep, that's good.
Yeah. I've been extremely happy with the rating during Legion, though. It's been a lot of fun.
Good. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on for 7.1.5, which is now on the PTR. And they said that they were about halfway through the PTR experience as far as especially when it comes to adjusting specs. There was a post about it talking about how much they were changing specs, and they said we are changing specs a lot. Right, Gizmo?
Yeah, and so they had kind of announced what the changes they were making. What was that, last week? And people were freaking out.
Yes.
And it kind of, I feel bad that they had to make this post, but I mean, people are freaking out so much, but they just want to assure people, hey, first off, this is PTR. And right now the changes that they're making are all mechanical. So while in the PTR and stuff, yeah, there's some huge changes happening to each class and spec, and it's not going to, numbers may be super wonky right now, but right now they're just wanting to nail down the mechanics, how the specs play, how they feel, and then from there they can go and tweak the numbers again to kind of keep everything where it's at.
Right.
So don't your class and your spec or whatever isn't just going to get totally destroyed right now. Mm-hmm. Just give it time. It's PTR, And if you freak out on that stuff, I freaked out. I looked at it, the changes real quick, and I closed out of it. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna let this settle.
So which spec did you look at where you freaked out?
Fire Mage.
Fire Mage. Oh, that's right, because you switched over.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, Fire Mage was looking a little weird. Marks was looking a little weird, wasn't it? And there were some other specs that were just like looking very, very strange. And we kind of commented on it last week, and it was like, okay, guys, still PTR.
Yeah.
Panic. This is not your time to panic. When they release it and it's still like that, then feel free to panic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the Hunter Discord was a very exciting place during that announcement.
I bet. Yeah,
all the memes.
Right, all of them. But yeah, so it was basically, hey, we're still going through this stuff. Calm down. We're not there yet. We're just kind of playing around. This is the way that we work, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So calm down, everybody. Then there was something on artifact knowledge catch up, right?
Woo!
Yes.
I need
Sign
that.
me up.
I need that.
Sign me up for that.
I need a little bit of that. What's the deal with this? And maybe I don't know, Giz. What is going on with artifact knowledge catch up for 7.15 for that patch?
Yeah, so they're going to be making it here where you can purchase ranks of artifact knowledge with order resources, but this is only just up to a certain rank. So I don't know if they've announced the actual rank of what you can buy up to is yet, but I imagine if you have been keeping up on your artifact knowledge, you won't be able to buy those on your main. But this is nice for fresh 110s alts to get caught up. To be able, if you want to bring an alt, decide to switch classes or something, want to bring an alt to a raid, maybe an alt raid, it's a nice catch-up mechanic.
Yep.
So spending those order resources, which I need to farm more of.
Yeah, I can't get enough. I can't get enough order resources. I just can't seem to get enough ever. Like I'm always on empty for those things.
World quests.
I know.
Gotta do them.
Tattva, how many are you up to? Because you are you at 1,000 yet? Are you at 2,000?
I'm approaching 2,000.
2,000?
Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
How many do you do a day?
That's how many order resources I have.
Right.
You've done
Right. Maybe I have.
yeah, maybe that.
Tattva, I bet you're getting bored doing that on a Druid Hunter. If you would like to try some of them with a new flavor of Fire Mage, feel free. I can help
Give
you
me
out.
your deets. Give me your deets.
Tattva, you're going feral, right? For all that?
I mean, well, it's as far as the world quests go?
Yeah.
I think it's easier just to be Guardian, personally.
Oh, okay.
Like, you can just storm through
just
everything.
gather them all up and swipe them down. Yeah.
Death to everything. It's actually pretty hilarious. Like, even during raiding and stuff, like, sometimes when we're doing trash in between bosses, I'll switch to bear because I do more damage as a bear than I do as a cat in AoE situations.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's interesting because so I started working on my druid a little bit, trying to level up my druid, and I'm going feral for leveling and then putting all of my artifact resources into resto because that's how I roll.
Yeah.
And now maybe I'm thinking, well, maybe bear would be a good way to go. I don't know.
Yeah, bears are strong, cats are strong.
Yeah.
Druid is just a really good spec or class right now. They're very extremely strong.
It's fun, although the class hall itself is just this sprawling thing of green, and
it's huge.
It's so big, and I'm like, where is everything? So I have to figure that out. That's no fun. That's no fun. John, you just have like this. You're in the priest hall, and it's like, everything's just right there for you, right? I mean,
I love it.
Yeah.
Nice and centralized. You get the little speed buff when you move in, and then I've got I'm spec'd into where I get the 40% speed boost whenever I use my power word shield. So it's just zip zap zoop. You're done.
Zip zap zoop.
Zoop.
Zip zap zoop. Give me that boop.
Wow.
Boop with a P. With a P, guys.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. I mean, just as far as the catch-up mechanics go, like, I mean, I know that they're thinking about more things in addition to the order resources. The artifact power is a huge one. Like, I think we're up to like 17 now, if you basically got to level cap that first day. And it's an amazing amount of artifact power. You know, you can cruise through things, but I mean, just beyond that, as far as being a alt-friendly expansion, this is probably the least alt-friendly WoW has ever been, I imagine. And so the more things that they can do like this to open up windows for people to play a little bit of catch-up in a situation where even on our mains, people aren't capping out yet. And that's why it's, you know, a lot of most like hardcore, I guess, people are still putting all their artifact power into their main weapon. We're finally seeing some people hit that 35th trait, you know, and at that point, you know, alts might become more of a thing. There's a lot of people with alts out there, but
it's tough. It's tough.
So unfriendly right now.
It really is. It really is.
And they're in 7.2, they're adding more branches, right? So once you get there, but yeah, so it's like, is it smart to invest that when, you know, you're going to be needing it for the next part of the tree?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do it. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, right.
Well, just the nature of artifact knowledge, like it actually does make sense to switch to an off spec or even an alt in a situation like that, because, you know, you're getting 18,000 artifact power for a world quest right now, and that will get you like the initial like 7 points or something instantly on an off spec weapon. And then once your artifact knowledge catches up, that same world quest 2 weeks down the road will be giving you 30,000 artifact power, you know? So
right,
you don't really get that far ahead by pulling it all. No. I think it's a matter of days that you fall behind if you put it into a different spec.
Yeah, it's not too bad, especially like initially. What I found anyway was if as you level up, if you're just throwing stuff into an off spec for leveling, that's totally fine, because when you get into bringing up your raid weapon, whatever that might be, you can do that just as easily. It seems just as easy as the first weapon. So whatever, it is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Need more though. More ketchup.
Yeah, more ketchup would be good. That's what this thing needs. More ketchup. Let's talk about legendaries real quick, because there was a post trying to clarify what was going on with legendaries, and it was like, okay, well, if you have two guys, player A and player B, and player A is not really playing, he's not going to get any legendaries, and player B has a greater probability of getting legendaries. And then people were like going, well, that doesn't really say anything. And then there was a post about bad luck protection. And Tattva, what is bad luck protection, and what does this post say about it? Do you know?
Do you have it in Hearthstone? I know what it is.
Oh, what is it? What is it, John? What do you got?
So basically, it's in Hearthstone, they have it with packs so that you don't open too many packs before you get a legendary. The more packs you open, the more likely you are to get a legendary. Not because you've opened more packs, but because the actual chances increase after a certain threshold. I think the best comparison is like a die that slowly weights itself the more that you don't get a specific number. So if you're trying to roll a 5 and you roll it 10 times and you still haven't rolled a 5, eventually there's a weight put in so that the likelihood of you rolling a 5 is there. And so with legendary drops, a lot of people are confused when they say, yeah, the more you play, the more likely you are. Like, yeah, because I'm rolling more. And they're like, no, this is a weighted thing. Mm-hmm. The more that you do these things and don't get a legendary, we bump up your percent chance to get that legendary over time. So that's all it's saying.
All right. So that
I
kind
think
of
the bump is like minute.
yeah.
They're not even talking probably a full percent.
No, I don't.
Yeah, and it's good to keep in mind too, because there's so many legendaries out there that doesn't affect like the type of legendary you'll get. So Tovo, for instance, I know he's gotten 3 legendaries, but none of them are his DPS increases.
What?
So
he got 3?
yeah, so just because I know, right? So that doesn't mean the next legendary he will get is going to be necessarily a good one for him, which is kind of unfortunate there. But yeah, this post was kind of describing it as the whole weighted die thing, and they were using a 3-sided die. And as I was reading through this the first time, I was really distracted because in my head I'm trying to imagine a 3-sided die.
Right.
No, I don't think it's possible,
And I
right?
can't do it.
No,
It's
I don't think it's possible.
my head a lot.
It's really tough because, I mean,
The
the
3-sided die would have 4
sides.
planes. All right. Sorry.
So it would be a 4-sided die. That's
Math.
a 4-sided die. Yes, it's weird.
It could be hollow.
I think
right?
they should have gone with the 4-sided die, just for simplicity on the
Should have
on
just
the
said
visual.
a die. Should have
Or
just said a die.
Yes, any
Yeah.
die.
Just your normal
It
dice.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what type
Yeah.
of die
The
it
good
is.
old 3-sided die.
Right,
Hi, Gizmo.
right. I know how to die in World of Warcraft. And Overwatch for that matter. So there's that.
Yeah.
Did Gizmo
Saw
leave
that.
us?
I saw that on drink.
Did he leave us?
Yeah, that's why
Oh,
I said
jeez.
goodbye because
Oh,
he's just
man.
gone.
He
He's
cut
just
out.
gone. He's gone.
All right.
Oh, very, very sad. I'll switch over to the 3-shot. Oh, there we go. Hey, I still have you guys there. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
So we'll wait. We'll see if he comes back here. I don't know if he's going to or not. I don't know. Did he say anything? I can't see.
I haven't seen anything.
So poor Gizmo.
We're down.
Poor Gizmo.
Man down. Man down.
Let me try to add him. Let me
Casualties
try to add him.
on the
I'll try to add
Battlenet
him.
news.
So difficult, this show sometimes. All the tech stuff that can go wrong.
Darn, we have to skip the heroes stuff.
Oh,
Right.
darn.
Darn.
Oh no.
Oh, nuts.
Oh, nuts. Let's talk a little bit about here. Hold on. There we go. Okay. We're good. All right. Maybe. All right. Let's talk a little bit.
Deep breath, Pat.
Right. I think we're anything else on WoW before we move on.
All the things on WoW.
Well,
All the things
right.
on WoW.
I'm kind of looking forward to I think over the long weekend, I'm really going to try to get into Kara and get more into all that stuff because I haven't really been in there all that much because I haven't been able to get attuned because of BlizzCon and all the activities. So I'm looking forward to that this weekend. That's what I'm
Oh my
thankful for.
goodness.
That's what I'm thankful for. But
Patty cakes. You need to do Kara.
I know I do. But first, I want to get through this show, and one of the things we need to do is talk about Hearthstone.
Well met.
So, John, Hearthstone is a thing that we play,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Okay.
Lots of it.
So,
Play
what
lots.
is going on with Hearthstone right now? Because we have a new thing. We have this heroic brawl going on, right?
Yes, we do. So, in the midst of all these crazy new card reveals for Mean Streets of Gadgets, and
Mhm.
we also had the heroic tavern brawl. It was something that was teased before BlizzCon. They said that they were shooting to have it actually happen before BlizzCon, and then for whatever reason, they weren't able to make it happen until after BlizzCon. So, hey, here we are after BlizzCon. We've got Heroic Tavern Brawl. How it works is if you've played Arena, you're semi-familiar with the format. The goal is to try to get to 12 wins before you get to 3 losses.
Yep.
The big difference is it's constructed, meaning you pick every single card in your deck.
It's
And,
intimidating. It's intimidating.
yeah, it's intimidating. It's not easy. It is so not easy that you are prompted twice when you sign up because it's 1,000 gold or $10 to enter. that is not cheap. That's 10 packs if you're going
$10.
to. Yeah, that's 10 packs if you're gonna buy it with in-game gold, or that's $10. That's
Right.
lunch.
Right.
That's Chipotle and a Coke right there.
It's $10 for 3 games for me. So
yeah,
really,
exactly. There and the rewards, the way it works out is you do get some amazing rewards at the very tippy top of Tavern Brawl. I forget it exactly, but you get 3 golden legendaries. I believe it's 60 Whispers of the Old Gods packs and like 1,600 gold and 1,600 dust or something like that. Like something insane. So astronomical wins. But if you get 0 wins, I don't think you get anything at all. If you get 1 win, you get 1 pack. And the kind of break-even point is about 4 to 5, to where you can at least go, hey, I didn't lose a whole lot. I did 1 Tavern Brawl. I went 7-3, so not too shabby overall. It wasn't amazing, but
I think if you're gonna make people pay or have that be a part of the thing, if you're gonna make people pay either by gold or by actual cash, you should give them a bunch and then have them win more, right? I mean, doesn't that make sense? Like Arena makes sense to me that it's all a crapshoot and you're kind of, whatever happens. And yeah, it's a little bit of gold, but it's not 1,000 gold.
But you at least get a pack too. Arena is 150 gold, or $2 or $1.50 or whatever to get in, or 100 gold. I can't remember. I don't play a lot of Arena, but anyways, it's relatively low and you're guaranteed a pack back. It's like worst case scenario, you lose 50 gold or something like that. So like big deal. They were very upfront. And what they said is with our Tavern Brawls, we want to, appeal to every type of player that we can. And one player that Tavern Brawl has not appealed to is competitive players. Competitive players typically don't jump into Tavern Brawl. And so this is a hyper competitive mode that is going to really benefit and reward the top 1% of players more than everybody else. And yes, some people flipped out, but they were super upfront with it. You got 2 screens being like, hey, this is a super competitive mode. If you're not a super competitive player, you could lose and you could lose money. But it's kind of nice to have stakes. It was really fun. I really enjoyed having this steak.
Wait, you had a steak? You had a steak? I mean, like a steak dinner?
A big,
that's pretty
beautiful,
good. That's pretty
baby
good.
back torn rib.
I like steaks.
It was great. So... But it was great because it was competitive and every single turn mattered, because it's not like, I'm going to get it back anyways. Just, instead it's like, I need to play every turn the best that I can in order to get the best rewards. And I think that's great. There's a lot of really talented players who can't play Hearthstone at high levels, because playing Hearthstone at high levels already, requires 200 game investment, even for the best players, to go from rank 15 to legend each season. And then finally, when you're in legend, that's where the real game starts. So this way it's like, cool, I can play competitively and hypothetically, I only have to get a maximum of 14 games in to do that. I can take my time. I can spend as much time as I need, on that run. And I think that's great. And I think that's something that people have been asking in Hearthstone is, how can I be a competitive player without having 30, 40, 50 hours a week just to grind to legend? And this is a great step in the right direction, but it's too expensive. It's too competitive. I would like a slider where like the more you put in, the more you get out. So you could put in 200
payment.
Gold.
Yeah.
So if I put in 200 gold, I get rewards that are 1/5 of someone who puts in 1,000 gold, roughly. Obviously, there's some math that needs to be done there. But that way, then if I'm a poor player that wants to get more used to the competitive environment, I can do so without having to spend $10 each time I want to do it, or find a way to grind out 1,000 gold, which typically if you just do, your 100 gold a day from, getting your wins on the ladder and do your daily quests, it's still going to take you about a week. If you grind and get everything you can only do one of those a
It's a
week.
lot.
And that's just,
It's a lot.
it's just not, they succeeded, but there's a lot more they can elaborate on in the future
Right.
to make it more fun.
Well, and for me, it's just cost prohibitive. I mean, it's just like it's too much. I can't do that. So
Is there a ranking system involved in this whole situation at all?
I mean, the way it is, like, we know that there is a hidden MMR number in Hearthstone. They did not say if that had anything to play, but in Arena, how it works is if you're at 9 wins, you're going to play somebody else, at 8, 9, 10 wins right in there. So you're playing against people with a similar amount of wins, and that should be enough of a metric to have even matched games. And it's a lot less weird because in Arena you have that randomness effect. If you're a mage and you get 4 fireballs and 3 flame strikes, you can be as good as Pat at the game and still go 12 wins.
Yeah, thanks.
Whereas in this mode you really can't. You're welcome. In this mode you can't really do that. You have to, it's basically 100% based on the deck that you bring and your skill with that deck and your knowledge of the deck that your opponent has.
sure.
And then as far as like shutting down, like once you lose 3 times, it's over, right? That's how it works.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like would there be a benefit of allowing people, if they buy into the game, to let them play all whatever 14 or 17, however many games? Like if you went straight through and won every single game, how many is the max you'd play?
12.
12. And so would that be a way to increase competition or to like see where you're at kind of more, if you just allowed everyone that bought in to play all 12 games? I mean, if they went 0-12, they'd get a good idea of what was going on, whether, I mean, but you just have bad luck and lose the first 3 games and are out.
Sure. Well, if you go 12-0, right? I mean, you're basically saying you have chosen wisely on your deck list because
and you're freaking good at the game,
and you're awesome at the game, and you had a good RNG in the process because that is something pretty superb when it comes down to it. If you're winning 12-0, especially on a regular basis, more than once, then you have like the magic cards that are really awesome.
But I mean, I'm wondering what problems it would cause. Like, I mean, these people spent all these resources, whether it's real life money or gold, to enter into this tournament. Like, what is the problem with letting them play the 12 games? I mean, even if they do go 0-12, does that cause an issue, or does it ruin the situation?
I mean, it's just a less competitive version of what they decided to put out. You're exactly right. What if I end up, losing 0-3 at the front, but I actually win the next 9, the next 11 games, and I end up going 11-3 total, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever that math ends up being. Sure, it'd be like, great, okay, I am good. That was just RNG. It's just kind of basically they try to combine Arena and Constructed into this new type of mode. People, I think, are familiar with. They could have just have easily said, all right, you got 12 games, see how good you can do, right? Just see how good you can do. Right. See how many games you can win, how many games you lose, and at the end of it, you get a reward. Yep. But there's also stuff too, like that could come into like throwing games. If wins and loss don't matter, like there's the opportunity. Ooh, I'm at 10 wins. I have 0 losses. This is my friend that I'm playing. And believe it or not, in Hearthstone, you get to know the individual players quite well. Almost every day, I'm like, oh, I've played this guy before. And so, I remember he played this weird deck and he had this card in his hand or in his deck that I wasn't expecting. You run into that quite a bit. And so you'd be like, oh, I'm just going to throw it for him. Or, there's some considerations, but in the end, I think they just wanted to make it more competitive.
Yeah.
Because I think if they would have made it the way that you're talking about, the rewards would have just been scaled back even more.
Right.
Well, and with the way it's set up for, you are 4-1, so now we're going to try and match you up against somebody that's 4-1. The more difference there is in your record for that, the harder it's going to be for the matchmaking to put together those games of people with the same record.
That's a good point.
Which
really
can therefore, say, hey, I am 6-3 right, or 6-2 right now. There's not another 6-2. Guess what? You got put up against 8-1 because that's what we had for you.
Right.
And then in that case, the person who's 6-2 is kind of getting the short end of the stick there because they put the $10, and if they play somebody more their level, they potentially could have won one more game.
Sure.
It's like basically a mini elimination tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then just for comparison here real quick. So I have a friend that went 5-3, and for that he said he got 6 packs, 200 gold, and 200 something arcane dust. So to kind of
and I went 7-3. I don't know if you were there for that.
I was.
And I went, just so you know.
Just so you know, I'm pretty good. I got
2 more than your friend.
Yep.
Yeah, it was 8 packs.
I'll see you in Overwatch after the show.
300 dust, 300 gold. Oh, you already did. I won.
Right.
Already happened.
in my head. And by the way, Gizmo, welcome back.
Thank you. I blue screened. It was very scary.
Well, we're happy to have you back. Threw the show off for a little bit.
Just snuck in there.
And I wonder if they're going to be changing the heroic tavern brawl at all in the future. We'll see if they decide to iterate on this a little bit. But I think it's a good first test for those guys, and they should have all the numbers they need after this week to be able to figure it out. So I guess we'll just have to see what happens. All that kind of good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Heroes of the Storm now that Gizmo's back.
Yeah, baby.
Giz, what is going on in Heroes right now? What's the what? I guess.
So
what's the what?
Not a whole lot between last week and this week. Of course, Varian came out. Well, I guess he came out.
And he's playing good?
It's been a week now.
Yeah.
He's playing amazing right now. I'm still a little worried. So with him being our first multi-role hero, the idea is great, but it's going to come down to what do we see in competitive play? Is it actually going to be a hero who, when somebody drafts it, it's really going to be that, are they going tank or assassin? Or is it going to come down to, this build is the best. They drafted Varian. Obviously, he's going assassin because the tank role isn't good enough. So that'll still be interesting there, but he's a ton of fun to play.
What are you seeing as far as that goes? I mean, what is the role that you see him playing more of, I guess? Or is there one?
It's really interesting. Everyone thinks he's super overpowered right now, because right now his best spec, according to HotS logs, is his Fury Warrior spec, where he splits his sword into 2, and that increases his attack speed and his movement speed, and it's super fun to play. However, as a hero, his overall win percentage right now is below 50. I think it's 47-48. So it's actually a really good hero release, but at the same time, he feels super strong. So I'm sure that's, with people still testing out these other specs and roles. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see. I'm super excited to see him get played competitively and see where this goes. Cool. But a couple other things they've added in. So the personalized stats that they mentioned at BlizzCon have entered the game, and these are actually kind of really neat. So you have your commendation system that they show your MVP and then give 4 other players awards that you can vote on. And then after that screen, you'll have a little tab pop up from the right side of your screen that, for instance, I was playing Kerrigan, and I had a really good Kerrigan match, and it said, hey, congrats, you did this much damage. You did 33% more damage than your average over the past.
Uh-oh.
Bye, Gizmo.
Hey.
I'll finish it. So what he was saying was the hero has to do the damage to the core to win the game.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely
hero
right.
Damage core game. You're welcome.
Nice work. Well, this Heroes of the Storm brief moment was brought to you by Gizmo's bad computer. So with that, but there is actually one other thing to say, and that's they do have Black Friday deals, 360-day stim pack for $60. A full
Hi, Gizmo.
a full year. Hi, Giz. Nice to see you, buddy.
I just talked to myself for probably 45 seconds.
That's all right.
Like, it's really quiet.
But they do have the 360-day stim pack, a full year of 100% bonus XP for $60. So if you're playing Heroes, but you don't know exactly when over the next year, maybe this is the time to get something like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, so Giz, what were you talking about? You're talking about Varian still, right?
Oh man, was I
Talking to yourself about Varian? Oh no, it was
stats?
about the stats. It was about the stats. Yeah. Sorry.
So
Go ahead.
they had mentioned that at BlizzCon. They're live in the game now, and they're really cool. But they're still kind of testing the waters here because they have to at the same time make sure these are actually positive. So if you have a bad game, they don't want to be like, oh, congrats, you did better than the bottom 1% on this hero. Go you.
That's what I see after every Heroes game I play.
Yeah.
That's what I see after every game I play. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter.
All the games.
Right.
It's a nice little pat on the back and lets you know how that match ranked up against your average with that hero.
Cool.
You guys farming out your Overwatch skin and heroes?
I know.
Heroes?
I gotta do that still. John, have you done that? Have you gotten your new Genji skin from playing Heroes?
No,
of the
I don't
Storm?
have Oni Genji yet. No,
15 times.
I don't want to talk about it.
It's just
we
15
need to play,
times,
Let's
John.
play Heroes.
Right.
I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
clear.
I got like 2 or 3.
You're streaming all the time. You should be playing Heroes. Just hit me up tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but whenever.
I'll hit you up tomorrow.
Tomorrow we'll play
I'll
some
hit you up
Heroes.
tomorrow.
Play some HotS.
All right.
It's all good.
Fun.
We'll lose a bunch, but we'll play. And that's the important thing, right?
You know, Pat, I don't play games with you to win. That's one thing I've learned.
Probably wise. Probably wise.
That's why we do dailies together.
Let's just
Can't
do
lose
dailies, and then maybe do.
We might die a few times, but we can't lose dailies.
Maybe run an LFR or something like that. Let's just coast today. What do you say?
Yeah.
Right.
You
Just
fail
coast.
a world quest and it takes artifact power from you.
Right. It actually soaks it away from your artifact. That'd be great.
Illidan just walks up to you actually and just backhands you and says, "Bad, Pat,"
Right.
and then walks away.
Right.
So I was gonna say,
Not
you know what?
prepared,
We
maybe?
know you guys didn't use the artifact exploit, but because you played so poorly, we're gonna go ahead and roll yours back anyways. You should feel bad about yourself.
How about you take 8 days off and think about how poorly you did those dailies today?
Think about your decisions.
It's not that you did anything wrong. It's just that you're not doing anything right. So we're gonna just ban you for 8 days. It'll be fine. All right. Now that we've gotten off track, let's get
You are the 1%,
Right.
the bottom 1%.
the bottom 1%. Thank you. Let's talk a little bit about Overwatch.
Now we're cooking with gas.
We certainly are. And today, was it today? Yes. Jeff Kaplan video, new Jeff Kaplan video talking about Symmetra, John. What's going on with Symmetra? It's like a total revamp, right? Total revamp.
So they've been teasing this for a while. They've been almost with every patch and every developer update, they've always put Symmetra on there and be like, we're still working internally on Symmetra because it's going to be a big rework. It requires more than just tweaking numbers, adding health, adding shields, changing damage. We need to, fundamentally relook at the role that Symmetra plays in the game. And they did just that. And the first iteration of her is now up on the PTR. I actually did a video of this on YouTube. So if you want to hear a video version of me talking for 5 minutes, it's up on YouTube somewhere. Just Google YouTube, and it's like the top video.
We'll see if we can get a link to it on the site or something like that. We'll figure it out.
So, but it's pretty cool. So what they did is, I'll hit the big things. Her E. It used to be she would just apply 25 shields on ally, right? So an ally, hover over them, hit E, and they have 25 shields. The development team didn't like it, felt like it was, trying to spin plates, and it just wasn't very fun. You couldn't really feel the impact
I didn't
of
like
that
it.
on the game. Yeah, it wasn't fun. And honestly, after I applied the shields, like when we first spawn, I forgot about it. I would always forget about it. I couldn't even remember, whatever.
I didn't even I never used shields. I was just like, no, I don't even want to play that game. I just want to put up the turrets and kill people as they walk through doorways. That's all I want to do.
So probably the biggest change now is they have something called a proton barrier. Now what you do is, now what our E is, it's a projectile shield, not unlike an elliptical Reinhardt shield that moves pretty quickly. It's at a full running pace through wherever you shoot it at. It's kind of neat. It's about as fast as her secondary fire. And then the design behind it is that you can almost use it like a second or more active Reinhardt shield. So you can use it offensively, you can use it to protect certain parts of the map, and it's pretty cool. So that's the first big change, and probably the biggest change that she saw. The second big change is that now her stock is no longer 3 turrets. She can now have 6 turrets in stock at once. So when you spawn, you have 6 turrets that you can put up right away. You don't have to lay them out and then wait for them to the next 3 to regen to put out the other 3. So still a maximum of 6 at once, but it just makes it a little bit more fun. We all love to have 6 turrets up and just watch the first person get melted because they didn't know, and then the rest of the team figure it out, kill the turrets, and
everybody has a good laugh. Everybody has a good laugh, and then everything gets destroyed. So
yeah, basically. But that's, I mean, now you have like 2 little nests that you can have with her shields without having to worry about. Yeah, it's a great change. And then the big change. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the big change is that she gets a choice of ultimates. Is this right?
Yes, so she gets a choice. She has 2 ultimates. She has her teleporter just like normal.
Yeah.
There are definitely parts of Overwatch where having that teleporter is really handy, especially on defense on payload maps where you have to walk across the length of the map to get back into the fight. You know, having that teleporter is still really valuable there. But after that, everybody would always switch off of Symmetra because her ultimate is worthless. Her damage isn't that great. There's so many better heroes then that you can play with at that point. So what they did is they now have a shield generator. Now this is pretty cool. What it does is you set it out somewhere just like you do a teleporter. But what it does is all allies within a 75 in-game unit radius, which is about 3/4 the length of the training mode map. So it's quite large.
It's huge.
It's big.
Wow.
It's not like you can put it. Yeah, it's big. Okay.
Right.
I guess that's the only way I have to say it. It's on the video. I show you exactly how far away it is.
Okay.
But but it's quite large. And you get 75 shields. Now the advantage of shields is that they regenerate, right? So rather than armor or health that doesn't automatically regenerate, shields regenerate over time. So everyone gets 75 additional shields in that radius.
Nice.
So that's pretty strong, and that only removes itself when the enemy team destroys your shield generator, which, you know, is also a really distracting thing to do. It's really difficult to kill a team that all has 75 more shield than the rest of your team, right? Yeah. But on top of that, now you have to not focus on what you're trying to do on the map because you have to kill this stupid shield generator. So pretty neat stuff that they changed.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like they're in a way. I mean, they're kind of heroes of the storming Overwatch with this character by saying, "Hey, you can choose an ultimate," and it's kind of interesting. It's very neat. So
yeah, they definitely. It's honestly, it's such a genius way to do it though, because Symmetra, without changing Symmetra completely, and everything that she did do and was doing is now totally different. Besides totally doing that and starting from scratch, having this means that she's no longer as situational. She still won't work great on like offensive or attack on payload maps, because even if you drop a shield generator, you know, after you've moved 75 units, like you're not getting those buffs anymore. And so there's still parts where it's not perfect, just like any ultimate. There's no perfect ultimate for every situation and against every hero comp, but she's much less situational now, and I love seeing that.
Cool. And so is this is going up on the PTR soon? Or
it's up today. Actually, like within 2 hours of the video posting, it was up on the PTR, ready to play. There's videos and articles and people talking about it all on the internet.
Yes, there are always people talking about it on the internet. And we're proof of that. Look at that. Look how that works. Hey, let's talk esports real quick.
Let's roll.
And speaking of Overwatch, there's Apex playoffs, right, John?
Yes. So in Korea, there's a fairly large Overwatch LAN going on with some of the biggest Overwatch teams in the world, including Envious, Rogue, Lunatic High, which is one of the best teams in the world. They made up most of the South Korean team at the Overwatch World Cup, which blew everybody else out of the water. And Kangdu Ansia, which is another one. It's just been an amazing experience. The casters have been amazing. It's Monty and Doa, where they're coming from League of Legends. They moved away from League of Legends to cast Overwatch, which is a huge deal, believe it or not. And yeah, it's been amazing. We actually, even in the first day of playoffs, we actually had Rogue, who is traditionally thought to be the #1 Overwatch team in the world. They were upset by Team Envious, and a lot of it has to do with, we had a pretty big patch about a week ago that kind of rocked the meta a little bit. They nerfed Ana's nano boost quite a bit so that it doesn't affect your movement speed anymore. Yeah. So that made the Ana Reaper combo not as good, and Rogue relied heavily on that combo for how great that they were doing as a team. It was like what they were known for. They piloted it and they perfected it. And so with the changes, they just didn't do so well, and they picked to go against Envious, who is always, it used to be before the game went live, they were the team to beat. They were undefeated. I think they lost like 1 or 2 rounds in beta total. And then they didn't perform as well since then, but they still were always thought of as a top 5 team. And they picked how the structure works is you actually pick your opponent, so you can pick who you play. And they actually picked Envious because one of their DPS players left right before the LAN. Which, don't do that. Don't leave your team in the middle of a tournament. That's not nice. There's a whole long thing about it. But they're like, cool, let's get them while they're hurting. They don't have time to adjust with an alternate. Yeah, I love it. I love esports drama. And then Envious ended up beating them 32. So that was pretty amazing. And then Kangdu Unsia beat Lunatic High, which is probably another top 2-3 teams.
It's not like Lunatic High School. It's Lunatic High, H-A-I.
Yeah, Lunatic H-A-I.
Yeah.
Yep. Hi.
Yeah.
So, yeah, lots of good stuff. I encourage you. There's a website. If you wanted to get into Overwatch esports relatively easily, go to over.gg. It is an amazing website. You'll find articles about all the movements and all the tournaments. You can see when all the tournaments coming up are, what time the matches are, who's playing who. Yep. And then you can click on past played matches and see all the stats there and links to VODs. Cool. It's amazing. I'm all about it.
I'm on it right now. I'm just looking at it right now. It looks good.
Yeah,
looks good.
It's neat.
Looks like fun.
I talked a lot, Pat. I'm done.
All right, sounds good. So we'll go over to Gizmo because there's the HGC qualifiers that happen as well, right, Giz?
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and get through this without disconnecting again. So
hey,
the
good luck.
HGC, of course, is going on right now. This is to find the top 8 teams for each region to compete in HGC in 2017. So the first round of qualifiers has started in EU. We have had the first two teams qualify, and that is Misfits and 2Bs Determined. And they have a cute little logo, 2Bs and then Determined.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, so up till this point, I haven't really followed EU just because following North America took up a lot of time.
Yeah.
But after BlizzCon and watching Fnatic play, I'm super intrigued to be able to keep track of this. And I think it's going to be easier with the new HGC format. However, the North American have started as well. And the finals for this qualifier to see what two teams are going to qualify, I believe, are tomorrow. And those teams going into that are Chew8, my hot dog, which Chew8 is a popular Twitch streamer, and Chew8, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But then they also have Navintic, Gale Force Esports, and Gust or Busts. So,
man,
you don't like Chew8, my hot dog?
Jokes? You're expecting jokes?
Yep. Thanks, Johanna. And yeah, dad jokes. That's always good. That's always good for a team name. It never gets old that way, right? Never.
Yeah.
Anything else about any of the games that we missed or may have not hit quite so well or anything like that? Tattva, you've been silent for a while. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, it's all good.
Right.
All good.
Right. You're resting your voice.
I think you mentioned it before, but if people haven't had time to listen to that Scott Johnson, Chris Metzen interview,
It's really good.
Really recommend it.
It's really good.
It's cool seeing a little bit into that world and the stress and all that stuff that's involved with heading up a gaming company like Blizzard, and it's gnarly, but very well done interview, and Chris Metzen just opens wide open.
Yeah.
And so
it's
pretty cool seeing into his world a little bit.
It is. It's very cool. And I think it also is kind of interesting that happened, well, I guess over this last week. But today also opened ticket sales for Nerdtacular, which is Scott Johnson's deal in Salt Lake City or thereabouts. And so if you...
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, that's where you're at. So he's having a little thing in right before 4th of July this year, so up at Snowbird, so you can go hang out over there if you want to. And I think this is the last year for that particular format of that con. I guess it really is a con. It's like a frog pants con over there. So but you can go check that out at nerdtacular.com for all the infos on that stuff. I don't know. It's always just kind of cool. I remember going there like 4 years ago. Was it 4 years ago? 4 or 5? I don't even know. Going to Salt Lake City and hanging out with all the frog pants folks and getting to know those guys, and they're just a fun crowd. So I've known them for a long time. Good peeps over there. So, all right. Well, if that is it, I'm going to play this music. There we go. Guys, how can people find you, and are you doing anything fun over Thanksgiving? Gizmo, let's start with you. Are you doing anything fun for Thanksgiving?
I am probably going to be playing a lot of 1v1s in Overwatch.
All right.
No,
against John.
But
yep.
Yeah, and I'll just be resting up. I'll be around in games.
Cool.
If you guys see me, want to play some games, let's do it.
Awesome.
But you can find me on Twitter at Gizmozord, and on my Heroes of the Storm podcast, Lords of the Storm at Lords of the Storm. That is also on Twitch.
Yes, make sure to check out Lords of the Storm. And Tattva, how about you, buddy? You're getting better. You're going to be resting up probably a little bit. What else is going on?
I mean, just the Thanksgiving festivities.
Yep.
Dinner at the girlfriend's family's house, and then my family's house, and probably going to go see Moana.
Oh, yeah,
Pretty excited about that.
Yep, the new movie. Yep, got to see that.
And not rating on Thursday, which is sad.
No, but all your videos are up as far as all the bosses go for Line of Sight Gaming, and you can check those guys out at youtube.com/ is it LOS Gaming Show? Gaming Show. All right.
Yep. And you can follow us on Twitter at LOS_gaming.
Cool. Johnny, what's up with you, bud?
Yes, sir. Oh, lots of stuff. I'm trying to play Overwatch like 6 hours a day now.
Wow.
So I'm playing Overwatch like 6 hours a day. Then I'm doing 3 hours of Hearthstone a day over at twitch.tv/kickedtripod, except I'm taking a break from Hearthstone until the expansion launches, because it's just you can't do it anymore.
Right.
Can't do mid-range shaman anymore, you know?
Mid-range shaman. That's all
that's
it is.
Everything else you can find from me is at kickedtripod.com,
Yep.
including my Twitter, which is at kicktripod. And
Yeah.
I'm easy, Pat. I'm
Yep.
easy.
That's what Katie said about you.
Hey.
Hey. And for me, I don't know what I'm doing this weekend. But you can always check out what's up with me at Twitter, Pat Crane with a K. And I've got some big projects coming up, and I may need your help, guys. I may need everybody's help to guide me through it, because it's a big, daunting project. And I will tell you guys about it more soon, TM. So I'm going to leave with, I'm going to play this music, and we're going to get out of here. But if you guys want to talk to us about anything, you can email us at convertraid@gmail.com. You can call and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You can follow us on Twitter at ConvertToRaid, or make sure to join the Bazuba Guaba Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com. That's where we have our show downloads, our forums, our videos, our audios, our discords, our guild stuff, everything. Everything's over at converttoraid.com. Of course, we're also on iTunes and YouTube and the internet. So make sure to look up Convert to Raid wherever you are, and you will be able to find us in multiple ways. Convert to Raid Presents is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends at the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. That's going to be it for the show. Happy Thanksgiving, America. And Canada, you blew it. You went early again this year. So there. But thank you guys so much for joining us. Tattva, Gizmo, John. As always, thank you guys for hopping in and doing a fun little shindig with me. And thank you guys in Twitch chat. Thank you guys at home, in the car, or wherever you are. And we will see you next time. For everybody here at Convert Trade, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, Chewbacca. Remember Chewbacca?
Remember Chewbacca again?
Right.
The new patch notes are up. We have to restart the show.
New patch notes? For what? Oh, boy.
Wow.
For WoW, all the new patch. Oh,
Yeah,
715? Oh, boy. That's
Yeah,
not
boy.
good.
I'm not even gonna look at them.
From the Battlenet News
All right,
broadcast
let's do
bunker.
it again, everybody. We got to read the new notes. Let's go.
Take two.
Yep. Take two. Another hour and a half. We'll be good to go.
Yep.
Yep.
Ugh.
That's it.
Blah.